And hello, hello, hello. Here we go. This is Cap After Dark, take two. If you saw the other stream, delete it. Do not look at it. You may go blind watching it, but we are back, baby. We are back. I had a blurred screen. That was something to do with my Google Chrome, actually my MacBook Pro um, camera, and that has been corrected. And then now I'm recentering this thing. Crazy stuff. Hopefully the very few viewers that we had will be rejoining shortly. Let's see who we have here in the chat. Nobody, which is amazing. I'm going to share the link. I'm going to copy and paste it. Let's get a roll call while folks file in. We're doing no intro music. It is one day prior. We are on the cusp of Juneteenth, which is tomorrow, federal holiday. Hopefully, if you're in the United States, your company, or if you're a government employee, if the federal government's closed, your office is closed, and tomorrow is a celebration day, Juneteenth. And in advance of Juneteenth, I'm doing a stream because I cannot do any tomorrow night. I am out. And so I won't be able to go on JJ's stream. So we have one viewer in the chat. We are at one. I guess that's all the advance notice that I gave. Again, anyone is welcome to join the panel, which is a panel of one, which is me. This is a special unbox. This is a special unbox. It's happening. It's happening right here. We're going to do this. And then I have a few other things that I just kind of looked at right before the show. There's a video that I can react to Adrian Barker. Talked about Rolexes under retail. Hear what Adrian has to say. There's another video that guys I watch at European Watch Company talking about speculating on high-end indies and how that's a dangerous game, and it's a game I've thought about playing, but it is a dangerous game. I'd love to hear what those two gentlemen have to say. I like hearing their content. They always show a lot of nice watches too that they have in their inventory. I'm not a paid spokesperson for anybody. I don't get paid a dime, and nobody watches the channel, so it's perfect. Mr. GMT Show. I'm your host, the Cap. There's another video. Again, these are all 10 minutes or less, so they're easy. And I could do reactions and we can watch together because I haven't seen any of these. And so as I watch them, you watch them, we watch them together, and I can react, you can react, we'll all react. We're one big happy family. Happy family. That's a dish on some Chinese menus. It's got a lot of different things in there: shrimp, beef, chicken. It's kind of a hodgepodge. If you ever ordered Happy Family, Britt Pierce, Patek Philippe has a problem, and then she goes, and Vacheron Constantin knows it. So I don't know what that problem is, but looking at her microphone, it might be a Shure microphone. Shout out to Shure Microphone, not a show sponsor. We do support and are an affiliate channel, satellite channel of the Watch Hangout with JJ and crew. Again, I won't be able to be on that show tomorrow. I see Britt's video got 95,000 views. Oh, it's a month old. That's a little dated. But I'm sure it's applicable regarding Patek Philippe and Vacheron, or at least her views can't have changed in 1 month. And then we have a few other videos that I'm not going to tell you what they are, but they relate to the show topic of tonight, which is Cap unbox. It's a small unbox. It's part of the journey. Part of the journey. It's a fun one. I think folks will enjoy it. And since I have the microphone and no one's joining the panel, you know, I get to unbox at my pace, and you guys will either watch or not. But appreciate your support. Thumbs up, hit the like button, share, subscribe, like, comment. All your views are welcome. Gen G, here we go. Thanks for finding the show. Yep, Cap, that is me. 3 exclamation points. I think you will enjoy this special Juneteenth edition of my unbox. And we have to kill that other live stream on YouTube because that was a disaster. I was playing around with my screen, my background, and it didn't go well. Right now, what I want to do is I'm going to play around with these reactions. We're going to figure this thing out, so all systems are go. I'm doing thumbs. I'm doing all of it right now. See that? Give us some love. Let's get some thumbs up, man. How can Britt Pierce have 90,000 views and this show gets 200? Come on. It's not great, but it's not, I don't even know, 1/100th or 1/500th the content. Plus, we're going to possibly watch her content. But I have an unbox. And none of these channels and none of these people who I've watched have the watch that I'm going to unbox. None of them. So I'm going cycling through. This is one of my favorites. I actually like this. The lightsabers kind of effect. The confetti, the rain. These are all good, man. I wish I had like 20 of these. All right. I'm not going to press that background button because that's what got me in trouble in the first place. Actually, I'm going to tempt fate again. Nope. All right. I'm not doing it. Thank God. Nothing happened. Here we go. Yeah, I pressed the background. That's what got me into this problem. Why am I doing this again? I have issues. I have issues. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pressing the background button, and now this time it's not changing my background. Okay. I don't know why it did the first time. All right. Well, enough of that. Here we go. Excited for Cap unbox. Yeah, I think you will be excited. This one's a small one again in terms of price point. We are not unboxing high horology here. We are not unboxing any rollies. We're going back to basics. And here we go. Show them how it's done. Yeah. No, it's tough going solo, Jen. Really, it's not easy. It is not easy. Plus there's no prior warning. So let me ask, because we have Jen in the chat and then possibly one other person. Do we want to watch? Let's start off with this before I get into the unbox video, or unbox portion of the show. Do we want to start and just kind of warm up with reaction to Adrian Barker 9 hours ago talking about the Rolexes under retail price? I mean, pretty much can guess what they are, but I guess he'll fill us in. Or why speculating on high-end indies is a dangerous game. I mean, that's content that I certainly like, but these guys are also selling inventory of European watch company, so they'll throw that in. Let me look at one other thing for 1 second here. I'm going to check out Sundial because I watched that last night, or actually this morning. Sundial does a every morning. They do the Thursday morning drop. Actually, it's Subdial. I'm typing in Sundial. That's how nuts I am. All right, I'm typing in Subdial. Yeah, that's always a good show. Want to protect Philippe's? Yeah, I like this guy. Let's see. I like this guy. All right. So, And then we have a Brit video on Patek and Vacheron. Those are the choices. Solar is rough. Go for Adrian. You think so? We'll talk about rollies. Yeah, maybe that'll get some people in, Jen. I also didn't, give anyone advance notice of the show. I should at least maybe do something in a day in advance or something. That way it goes out to GMT's viewers or subscribers. Let's see. I'm going to, before I do that though, I want to just test the changeover in camera, see how this is working. There we go. Okay, that works. Okay, this will be for the unbox. We can use the secondary camera. I kind of like that vantage point right here. You know what? I'll give you a sneak peek of stuff. Let's give you a tour of the studio. Okay, right there. This is a new edition. This comes from by way of Alaska. You see this? That's a bear with a fish. It's in jade. I got that as a gift. Very cute. And I'm putting it on my phone charger. Here you go. Check that out. Check that out. Pretty cool, huh? Come on, what are you doing? Can't even. You can see the fish. Wow, this is terrible. Okay. I'm like trying to move one hand. There we go. It's like counterintuitive. There you go. There's the bear. There's the fish. It's in jade. It's a pretty cool gift. It's cute. And then I also, thanks, Jen. Looks like it's just you and me tonight. I got this framed. A friend of mine gave me this. He had this little poster, and it's actually an original signature. And what's interesting is it's signed number 111, 111. My favorite number is 11. So there's a guy who I guess drove this car at the 2010 Pikes Peak hill climb. Pikes Peak. It's a cup car. It's a GT3 Cup race car. So that's a 911 GT3. I don't know what year. It kind of looks like a 99. Is that a 997 or a 991? Let's see, what year is this? I'll tell you in a second. 2010. That's a 997. 2010. Yeah, it's a great car. I have a 997, but it doesn't look like that. It is not a GT3 Cup car. Jeff, this is a Wart. And Porsche Motorsport North America take first. So there you go. Shattered the previous record by 38 seconds. So proof that 38 seconds isn't a lot. You guys can see that. It's everything. Okay. There you go. All right. There's a little studio tour there. So I'm sure I have some other goodies. Yeah, I wish that was my my Porsche. Oh, Vucom. Yeah, we could talk a little bit about Vucom, and we'll go to. Yeah, the Vucom stuff is interesting because I actually started. I watched a few episodes of that, and I think OC is doing kind of I don't know if it's a reaction stream, but he's streaming the Vucom stream, putting it out to his audience, his subscribers, his live stream. I don't know, this whole thing when they go, bye guys, bye. How long can you do that? I know that Happy Jewelers, and I guess Danny's doing the same thing. So they've all tapped into this idea, and it's not a bad one, that they can literally run live auctions 24/7. They could do this every day, 7 days a week. I got to switch cameras, guys. This one's driving me crazy. Give me 1 second. Another thing is when you're doing this in a solo, there you go. You got to operate everything at the same time. So, and I have one keyboard. I'm not using, my external keyboard or anything. Yeah, Vucom is interesting in all these live auctions, but they're entertaining, and I think that you possibly can get you can get a good deal on a piece if people really don't either know what it is or that particular audience there is not interested in that piece. So let's say they got a VC overseas, and I don't think they would do a Gen 2, but a Gen 3, and folks are tapped out or no one's interested, and maybe they don't really know the market price that well, and you kind of do. So I would say if I went on Moda, and check the last sale price of whatever watch that Vucom is selling, because certainly they should be lower than the lowest Chrono 24 price, but that's not the wholesale price. That's not even close. So if you can get something that's close to at or a little above wholesale pricing, like Hong Kong wholesale pricing or Moda wholesale pricing, you might be able to get a good deal. The problem is you don't know. They say everything's in, mint condition or has a nick here, a little mark there. I don't know if they say whether or not each watch has been polished or not. So only if they're selling a new unworn piece will you know for sure that it's not polished, if that matters, because that does matter when it comes to price and everything else. So look, they're not auctioneers. So when they're screaming at people, bid, bid guys, and they're losing so much money, well, there's no way they would be doing this every day if they're losing money. But they have a platform to move inventory quickly, inventory that's slow moving, plus they can get eyeballs. They don't even need people to contact them through Instagram or, through YouTube or through their other sales channels, calling them, texting them, none of that. They just run a live auction, blow out inventory, and then restock inventory. So it's Moda on steroids. And it's actually not a bad, it's actually a very good idea that they finally, tapped into it. And who doesn't like an auction? And then there's always that issue of straw bidders and, friends, quote unquote, and family making bids. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Are they straw bidders? Are they stalking horse bidders? The same folks just bidding things up. I don't know, but look, they're making money, and it's disingenuous when they say that every watch they're taking a beating on. They wouldn't be doing that business and they wouldn't be running a business if they were taking a beating, but they could literally do this 24 hours a day. I mean, they can hit the Asian audience overnight, the Australian audience, when folks are sleeping. So literally there's no end other than saturation point and folks just getting tired of the auctions. But there's copycats, right? It's you got Danny doing the auctions. I wouldn't be surprised if Luxury Bazaar starts hopping on the auction bandwagon. Why wouldn't you? Again, I spent many, many days, nights, hours, and I still do looking at Moda watches, right? Whatever they happen to have in stock. And it would be nice to know in advance what they had. And I think that's kind of the Phillips, the real kind of auction houses give you an opportunity to know what's coming up in the auction. And, like a Moda, the auctions that they have usually run for 1 or 2 days with bids. There's no live description of the piece. It's just photos, a description, and folks bid over the course of usually 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes they do a 1-day auction, but usually it's 2. And in this case, it's a real live auction. We only have a few minutes, but no real advance notice of what they're auctioning. Yeah. And so, but they're making money on all these pieces. They know it. I feel that the Vucom auction, I felt at least they knew more about the pieces than the guy that was the salesperson for Happy Jewelers. I think he didn't even know if there was a quartz in certain Cartiers or if it was mechanical. But that's enough about auctions. I didn't really think I'd be talking about that, but happy for anyone else to share their experience on it and their thoughts. But I mean, just screaming at people to bid is really not what auctioneers do. Come on, guys, bid. Like, it's your fault if the price doesn't get bid up to what they want it to be. And as if you should feel guilty for bidding on a watch. I don't, or not bidding on a watch. I don't think it's the way to build a collection per se. And it certainly feeds into folks who enjoy auctions and you get caught up in it. Like I do. I love auctions. So that's totally right up my alley. Um, it's exciting and you get the bidding and it's like trading stocks or something. It's just kind of endorphins kick in, but um you have to be careful because if you start bidding and winning, several pieces, you now have a collection and of watches that you may like but you may not love. So it's certainly not a way to build a collection. But I think if you're looking for a piece and it comes up on auction and it's at a really, really, favorable price to you, uh, you have authentication as well with eBay. So okay, moving right along. I'm drinking a tea from Dunkin' Donuts. This is what is this? Green tea. It's pretty good. Ditch to zero Vucom. All right. So we spoke about Vucom. Look, they're not professional auctioneers. That's crystal clear. But I met what is this? Tyler, I think his name is, at a John Buckley event down in New Jersey. And nice enough kid. I think he hustles. He's certainly built the Vucom name and um you know, I gotta respect the hustle. People seem to enjoy his content, and he's been did a lot of TikTok videos. Um, I'm not sure how much he loves watches, but he certainly has been involved in what the watch game and knows pricing. He knows prices very well, and so I think he's gained a lot of knowledge about buying and selling watches. I know he could do that. And people seem to gravitate towards him and like his content. So why not? Very cool. That's the picture of the. Thanks, Jen. And thanks for everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, upvote, comment, etc. We're getting some momentum. We got a few viewers coming in. I'm stalling until they come in. We do have an unbox. It's official. We do have an unbox. It's happening, guys and ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, guys and gals, because we know we have Jen on here. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Jen. I know you dropped that. I guess we could drop the link in JJ's chat. I didn't want to do that just because I don't know. I didn't tell JJ in advance, so I don't like to just. I don't know how he feels, but there's no way I can jump on the stream tomorrow. So I just want to get this done. That's what I do when I get something. I just want to get it up there. And we could do it again next time I'm on his channel. Hopefully Sunday night, perhaps. Is that your Porsche? Yeah, we went through that. Okay, here we go. Cap, here we go with Famal. I have a Porsche question. The midlife crisis is hitting me hard. Okay. Yeah, well, I hear you. I hear you on that. And I need a pre-owned Porsche to scratch the itch, but not lose money when I dispose it in a couple of years. Not more than $40,000. Well, I think if you've been watching me speak about this a lot, you know that my answer is going to be the one I have. So I don't know if that's a leading question and you know the answer because you know what I have, but the 997 though it would have to be convertible, that were made from 2005 to 2009, are in that sweet spot. And the 996s actually, but the issue with the 996s and with the early 997s, anything pre-PDK, so really really all the version ones, but typically 2005 and 2006, you have to be concerned about the IMS bearing failure. So that's a big issue. And then there's bore scoring. So you'd have to get a bore scope and you should buy one. Now I didn't get a bore scope on my car and I did not get, mine does not have an IMS bearing, but when I checked the engine, it had 52,000 or 48,000, something like that mileage on it, which I think is fine. I think you can go, you can buy a pre-owned Porsche with anything, high mileage Porsches are fine. I mean, these engines are built to last. So as long as it's been serviced, you know, uh, serviced at regular intervals and preferably through Porsche, though some of them, you know, don't want to spend the Porsche money to service at a Porsche dealer. So ideally, that would be the best to have it serviced at a Porsche dealership. But there's plenty of independents, like in watches, that can service these cars as well. So, get your PPI, and I'd say go for it. I mean, the 996s are creeping up in value as well. People are looking past the front egg headlights. The interior is a little dated, um, whereas the 997s are still analog, but definitely more modern feeling than the 996s. But really, that's your only shot of of getting one under 40,000. There there are no other ones that I'm aware of. So, and that window is closing as well. But I think you can get into a 996 again. You have IMS bearing issues. So some of them had that LN Engineering replace that bearing, and those are safe. Otherwise, I mean, your engine could fail at any moment, because there was leaky oil in the old bearing. So the bearings would, I guess, the oil would not be able to flow through the bearing, and you basically have an engine seizure at that point. Um, and that's why LN Engineering came up with a fix. But it affected like less than 5%, maybe even 1 to 2% of cars. So if one has a high mileage, the theory is that those won't fail. The bearing won't fail on those, but you're going to have that 0 to 5% chance that it will. And you're talking about an engine rebuild. So be careful. And a PPI, I mean, they could check the bearing, but I don't think it's conclusive one way or another. I don't think it would solve the issue. Uh, Other than replacing the bearing, there's nothing that would solve that issue. Bore scoring as well. I want to unbox now. I know soon. I'm stalling. Jen. Oh, Cayman. Well, you said. Oh, you just said Porsche. Oh, I got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I just jumped right to 911. Yeah, yep. Definitely, you can go Porsche Cayman. You don't have any of the issues I talked about for a Cayman or a Boxster. Same car, just one's the convertible. I think Cayman is great. Stub 30,000. It sounds too cheap for me. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, Caymans are definitely less expensive and they're mid-engine cars, and nothing wrong with the Cayman. So you don't have the issues of the bearing. So I hope that answers your question. I think it's fine. I think it's good. It's not a 911. The purists are gonna, Porsche purists will attack you, because I almost bought a Boxster. I'll be honest. Before I ended up with the 911, I was very close to buying a real minty Boxster around that area too, because you're in that price range, and midlife crisis is basically we're getting old, and no one lives forever, so it's YOLO. You only live once, and you know we've all seen as we get older that bad things happen to good people, and people get instead of hit by a bus. I heard the new thing in insurance is they say you've been abducted by aliens, because they don't want to say hit by a bus. But there's bad things. A lot of bad things happen, sickness and you know, uh, random events, just accidents, complete accidents, random accidents, shootings, this, that, the other thing. So you do have to take that into account, and buy what you love, man. Just go for it. Why not? You have nothing to lose. Um, okay, so I think Ken, you mentioned we're 29 minutes in. Not getting a ton of traction on this one. I know there's a bunch of different live streams going on at the same time. Bunch of different live streams. So who knows? Maybe that's audience is gone elsewhere. But let's do the Adrian thing. I'm going to play this, and then we'll get into the unbox. So let's go. I'm going to share here. And guys, tell me, because last time I was playing other videos, the volume wasn't great. Let's hear what he has to say.
Models from 4 different families that are all trading for under retail price. And this isn't weird shit. These are all current, sexy models from Rolex. Now, typically, when we talk about Rolex, the conversation often leads towards wait lists, investment pieces, value retention. And the fact that all of these watches can be bought for less than retail price kind of goes against all of that idea, which I think is a good thing.
Thanks, Turtle. Appreciate that.
These watches being under retail price, it means 2 things. Firstly, quite obviously, it means that you're now in a position to save money. The second thing means that if you don't want to go down the route of buying a pre-owned watch or a second-hand watch, then the wait lists on these watches is either non-existent or you're just not going to have to wait very long. It's a win-win. Let's go through these Rolex models because that's why you're here. And then at the end, I'll give a few pointers, a few thoughts.
Yeah, Adrian, so he makes a good point that I think if you're close, these are the models going under retail, which means they're gettable or more gettable than the other Rolex models that are way above retail. And if the price is really close, why take all the guesswork out of it and just buy new and wait a couple of months? But you know, certainly they should be more available. So I agree with him on this one.
Around buying a second-hand watch or a pre-owned watch and things that you should be aware of. I'm going to kick off pretty strong, or what I think is pretty strong, and that's the Rolex Explorer, my favorite lineup from Rolex.
All right, this is a great watch, man. I know he loves this watch, and rightfully so. I mean, a 36 Explorer. I just spoke to a colleague at work who's you know, a Zenith fan, and he's got a bunch of watches, and he's really into watches. His family, his relatives were, I think, even on 47th Street at one point. You know, so he's pretty connected. And he said, and he doesn't like Rolex. And he goes, you know, I've been thinking about getting a Rolex Explorer, you know, a 36. And I said, that's a great watch. He goes, despite all my negative feelings towards Rolex, he just loves the watch. And I'm like, sounds good. I said, all aboard. You know, I'm all on that. I'm all about that. Get it. I've never had an Explorer, but look, I have the OP. It's similar. I know it's not an Explorer in any way, but the size, you know, in terms of the case shape, I mean, mine's the larger model. So mine is the 41. Yeah. So this is the 36, but it's just, you know, clean, do it all, kind of just put it on and go.
This is possibly the most versatile Rolex of all time because it's neither flashy, it has a sporty element to it. It is a sports watch. It's part of Rolex's professional lineup, but it's not overtly sporty. It's certainly not in your face. Now, I do prefer the previous generation of 36mm Explorer. I just prefer the proportions of that. It's got a 36mm wide case and a 20mm bracelet. But regardless, the current version of the Explorer is just a better watch with regards to specifications. You've also got more options. You've got 2 size options, 36mm and 40mm now.
So I think that the sweet spot in here could be that short-lived 39mm Explorer that they ran for a couple of years, because there you get a little bit more exclusivity, a little bit more rarity, and a little bit more rare, if you will. And, you know, it's 39, which had smaller than the 40. 36 is good if I think you'd have to be 7 inches and below, maybe even 6.75, something around there. Inches. I'm not talking, you know, I'm not talking, what is it, millimeters or anything like that, or centimeters on a wrist. You know, I think the 39 is a great watch, and you can get those. Obviously, they're pre-owned, but you know, 36 or 40 either really work.
And you've also got different options in material. You've got stainless steel or you've got two-tone. So the retail prices are the 36mm version in steel is 6,600, in two-tone is 12,150, and in 40mm in steel is 6,950. Now I've taken these prices from 2 main platforms, Chrono24 and eBay. Neither of them have sponsored this video. You can tell that because I've mentioned both of them. They don't like each other. They're massive rivals. And if you do a video sponsored by one of them, they don't want you talking about the other, naturally. Now, the 36mm version in steel is actually quite a popular watch, and it's holding a lot of its value, but you can still get it for less than retail at around £6,200 on Chrono.
Okay, let's look at these prices here. 36 mil, retail 66, chrono 24, 62, eBay 57. Hmm. The 66, you got to add tax at Rolex. I don't know about chrono and eBay. I just purchased something on eBay. Did they add tax? Hmm. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if Chrono 24 and eBay add tax when you buy anything, when you buy a watch or when you buy other products, because I don't know offhand, which is kind of crazy because I just bought something on eBay. So I mean the price is all right. If you go eBay, and he's talking pounds. Okay, so you have to do extrapolation. It's going to be higher by a couple of thousand or 30, add 30, 40% for the exchange rate. I don't know where it is today. So it's going to be higher for USD. The two-tone, forget about. That is just I would not get the two-tone. It never took off, and I think it was, a novelty in a way for them to do that in a two-tone. I just don't think it works that well in the two-tone. There's other two-tones. I would get almost every other Rolex two-tone before this one, before Explorer, uh bluesy, root beer. I mean, higher price points, but I just this just doesn't work. The Rolex, actually, the OP 100 year anniversary with just the gold, bezel, I think is a nice subtle touch rather than having the bracelet in two tone. It's just subtly on the bezel, right? In my opinion, and 40 mil, not too much of a price difference there between the 36 and the 40. I don't know why he's not showing them on the eBay pricing for those.
24 and £5,700 on eBay. All of these are with box and papers. You can get them slightly less without box and papers. It's entirely up to you whether you want the box and papers, but just to keep all the prices kind of in line with each other, I've just stuck with box and papers. The two-tone you can get for $8,750 on Chrono 24 and for $8,400 on eBay. The 40mm version in steel is $6,170 on Chrono 24, and on eBay it's $6,670.
Okay, so here we go.
Now, I've ranked these all by the...
Oh, sorry about that. Let me get back to... There we go.
170.
Okay, I don't know how I...
Now, I've ranked these all by the cheapest.
One second. All right, here we go. So obviously the two-tone is a steep discount. If you look at that pricing, rough math, 30%, 40% lower, whereas from retail on the two-tone, and 36 and the 40 or much less, 5%, something like that, 5% lower. So if you're going to get the two-tone, absolutely gray market, Chrono 24, eBay, gray market seller, Vucom auction, Happy Jewelers auction. Yeah, if you can get them at those prices. Definitely that's the way to go for the two-tone. 36 and the 40, not big enough difference in my opinion to not get that at Rolex, and I would always opt for box and papers, but it's more important that the watch be authentic or authenticated than to have a box and papers, but most people want them. I certainly do. So if you want to resell, it's going to help you a great deal on the resale as well. So add at least 1,000 for those, for box papers, something around there. Maybe even more, because if they're just available, prevalent, if they're generally available, people are going to want box and papers.
70. Now, I've ranked these all by the cheapest, decent looking offerings. Some of them have shit photographs or the photographs are the wrong way up. Now, I just question someone and the background of that watch if they're unable to take at least a decent iPhone photograph and upload that onto the internet in the correct orientation. So there's a bit of saving to be had here. Naturally, with the two-tone version, there's always going to be a big saving with anything with precious metal in it, simply because of the desirability of precious metal.
So I put them on the chipmunk version. All right, let's scroll past that, get to watch number 2. Here we go. All right, I'm going to put him on normal speed. Let's hear what Adrian says about this guy. I guess this is the new model. So let's hear this one. Let me change the speed. get them back to normal.
Probably one of my most worn watches, and this is actually probably my better from here on. We're going to move on to the Explorer 2, one of my favorite lineups, and this is actually probably one of my most worn watches. Similar to the Explorer, where I prefer the neo vintage version of it. The same thing with this version of the Explorer 2 as well. I prefer the dimensions and proportions of the neo vintage, talking about like the 1990s to 2000s version. The reference 16570. You've got a 40mm case, which is more like a 39mm case, and then you have a 20mm bracelet. Rolex has massively beefed up this lineup, and it's now a 42mm wide case with a 22mm wide bracelet. When it's on the bracelet, I feel like it just has a mass of steel on your wrist because it's quite a flat, slim profile watch with regards to how wide it is. So it just feels like a huge chunk of steel on your wrist. Mine always lives on a single piece nylon strap.
Yeah, it's a great watch. I agree, Jen. I think the 40 is the way I would go. The 5-digit 40 over the 42. 42 is good. Again, larger wrist, 42 mil works great. Most wrists, 7-inch or lower, 7.25. I think 40mm, you get a little bit of that neo vintage feel. I think the dial might even be cream in some of the older versions, which I think is really nice. If you get a patinaed one, with a cream dial, that's, to me, that's special. That's chef's kiss, as they say. Get a little age on there, get a little vintagey, neo vintagey vibe going. But I like the 40. I mean, it's a Polar Explorer. I would definitely go Polar. That's just me, but I think it looks great. Rolex doesn't make a lot of professional models in white. They got the white Sky Dweller. I'm sure, a few others, but this is a great watch. And I know I watched an Adrian video a while back, probably over a year, maybe 2 years ago, where he went hiking in the mountains, like in the I don't know if he was skiing, but he was he's definitely in icy conditions. And this is the watch you want to have for that, or spelunking,
like the ones that we sell over at barkandjack.com. I just think it looks better. It frames a watch.
Now that's the typical hand in the pocket shot, on his strap, on his NATO. Looks damn good. I like the contrast with the dark gray, kind of I don't know, gunmetal gray, or kind of a darker gray with that pattern on it, on that band, that NATO strap. I think it goes really well with that watch. And there you go.
Watch a bit more. It brings out the adventurous side of the watch. If like this strap,
You got the military green, that looks good too. Can't go wrong with that. That's a great watch.
we've got a whole load of size options, whole load of color options over at barkandjack.com. But let me tell you,
Shout out to Bark and Jack. Like, subscribe, follow his channel. We promote the content that we're using and reacting to.
About the savings that you can have on the Explorer 2. Now, there's two dial colors. You've got a black and a white, and the white is significantly more popular than the black. And so naturally, it trades at a lot higher. If you like the black dial, then game on, because you can save yourself a huge amount of money. So the retail price for these is £8,850. On Chrono24, a white dial with box and papers goes for £8,150. However, the black dial version goes for just under £7,000. The cheapest white dial in good condition on eBay is £8,550, not a massive saving, and the black dial is £7,700. However, most listings on eBay have a button where you can submit an offer, implying that they're already willing to negotiate on that price. The next watch is a bit of an oddball, and I think it's an oddball. That doesn't mean I dislike it. It's one of the watches that stands out.
Yeah, so you could put below market offers for the make an offer button. Doesn't hurt to try this. I guess sellers might think you're lowballing, but if it's within range, let them counter. Why not? That's the way things go. We're gonna skip the Air King. We are just gonna skip right through it. Yep, those are under retail. If you like it, now is the time to buy it. Here's the Sea Dweller. Here's the Sea Dweller. Let's skip through this one as well because I want to get to the matter at hand. 45 minutes in, we got to start doing the unbox. So let's see what else he's got. The red line Sea Dweller, modern version, beefy, Cyclops. I wish they didn't do that. It's got a lot of tech in there. Crazy water resistance, 4,000 feet, 1,220 meters. Ironically, though, that's the same as the 16600 that I used to have. Same water resistance. So, you know, I would go with the one I got or had. Burn that Cyclops off. This is a chunky watch. This is a chunky big boy. So it has a lot of wrist presence, but you better have the wrist to pull this off. But listen, can't go wrong. 43 millimeter. That's large. That's a large watch, man. I'd go with the 40 mil, 5-digit, or even 4-digit. 21 mil lug width. Okay, that's not the best, but it's fine. Ceramic dive bezel, water resistance, then the helium escape valve. There you go. +2, -2. COSC certified. Superlative chronometer is the Rolex standard. 70-hour power reserve. Great watch. Okay. Here we go. What else do we have here? OP Explorer. Is he back to that again? Let's see where he's going with this. Oh, there's a diver there. What's he talking about here? Let's see.
Of the Sea Dweller being developed, and I've just recorded an interview with a commercial diver who dove for Comex, and Comex and Rolex worked together to create the Sea Dweller. That's going to be a massive video to edit, but it will be coming out fairly soon. So
I'm looking forward to that. That's really good content, man. That's really good. Comex. Okay, now we're talking.
subscribe so you can check that out. So this watch was originally launched back in 2017. That was obviously quite a while ago, and so I'd assume Rolex are going to discontinue this watch at some point. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that they subscribe, so you can check that out. Work together to create the anniversary of the Sea Dweller being developed, and celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Sea Dweller being developed. And I've just recorded an interview with a commercial diver who. Now the red text version was originally launched back in 2017 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Sea Dweller being developed, and I've just recorded an interview with a commercial diver who dove for Comex, and Comex and Rolex worked together to create the Sea Dweller. That's going to be a massive video to edit, but it will be coming out fairly soon. So subscribe so you can check that out. So this watch was originally launched back in 2017. That was obviously quite a while ago, and so I'd assume Rolex are going to discontinue this watch at some point. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that this watch value is going to go up at any.
No, I don't think it'll have a big impact on this watch going up, to be honest. Discontinuance can have an impact, but it's sometimes it's overrated. I'm looking forward to that video. I think that's depending upon how many people watch, and he gets a lot of views, that could impact the price of older Sea Dweller. So I may need to move quickly and add one before the word gets out of how great they are. All right. Let's see. Going through, is there any other watch? We're getting towards the end. He said 7 models. Maybe he was talking about the different sizes and colorways. The black and the white. Yep, the 36 and the 40. It's got the Sea Dweller, and I guess that's it. Maybe that was the 7 he's talking about. All right, done. Put it in the book. All right. Let's see. Speculating on indies. We can go back to that. We can talk to Brit, but before we do any of that, let's go to the unbox. We have 6 people watching. All right, let's see. This is good. This is good. Great choice. Here we go. Sold the white Sky Dweller there. Okay. Yeah, Bob. Congrats. Good to see you, by the way. Hope everything is going going okay with you. Thinking about you, and we have to speak and touch base and chat just to catch up. I know summer has begun. So, oh yeah, Shinnecock, by the way, the U.S. Open has kicked off. The Golf U.S. Open. It looks like a lot of superstars in golf are doing well. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, I think are on the leaderboard. Schauffele. Got a lot of big names there. We're only not even through round 1. Looks like they halted play. maybe rain, lightning, out there, out east. Um, damn, I want to get out there. I know that there's some sort of art exhibit happening too. The Hamptons Art Fair is happening. Trying to get my friend to come out there. Hate the bezel control. Okay, now I have a yeah, me too. I never liked that. I couldn't understand it. 42 millimeter Polar Explorer 2. And it's just awesome. Great. Awesome to hear, man. That's a great watch, and you have larger wrists, so you can definitely pull it off. Gen G, thanks by the way, everybody, for in the chat and who's watching or will be watching. Appreciate your support. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends about it and comment. Fan of the Sea Dweller. Yep, can't go wrong. You're right. I got most of my money back. I mean, you always lose some if you're buying from a gray dealer. But if you get off of Moda or if you get off of find a great deal or maybe even on eBay, your money is pretty safe, I think, for those watches. Maybe steal one in a Vucom auction. How about that? All right. Let's go to why you guys are here. Again, no advance notice. We're approaching the midnight hour. Juneteenth. We will ring in Juneteenth together in about 12 minutes. And what am I wearing? We are 51 minutes in, and we're going to do a wrist watch check. I am wearing, Captain Subby is wearing the Subby, the original OG sub, 40 millimeters, 300 meters, 990 feet. No, 1,000 feet. There it is, the Submariner date, 16610, circa 2000, with the Swiss only dial, aluminum bezel. There it is. There it is. Original name on the papers. I had it serviced once or twice. There's been a light polish on here. Maybe even 2. That's before I knew any better. Holes case. Holes case. There you go. I'm gonna actually switch. Let's give you guys value for money. I am going to switch cameras and use. See, look at this modern tech. There you go. We're gonna hone in on this thing. Let's see. Of course, it's gonna be blurred out, and I got a terrible light behind it, which I don't think this is gonna help. Yeah. There we go. Lighting is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Look at that. Look at how terrible that lighting is. It's not going to focus in. Maybe it will. I don't think this is helpful at all. Jesus. All right. That sucks. All right. Let's see. I want to go put it completely off now. Maybe this will help. I don't think so. See, I'm getting a glare. This is not focusing. All right, well, the Logitech is failing me. Anyway, you guys get the picture. I wanted to have this because this little other camera for the other piece that's going to be unboxed. All right. I'm switching over now. I'm back. Let's go. Let's go back to the plain Jane MacBook. There we go. Yeah, that does a better job. Look at that. Is this upside down? No. I mean, it is to me, but you guys seeing that the right way, or is it coming off? Yeah, it's the only way to show it. All right. Here we go. If I had a sub and a Coke GMT, I think I would be just fine with that 2-piece. Yes, I am more than happy, man. I am content. Looks good. Yeah, it's kind of troubling, Jen, and Turtle. Thanks to Turtle for joining as well and supporting the show. Thanks to Jen, Bob, anyone else who's silently watching, lurking. So I look at this and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm looking at the screen. It's like reads things backwards. So it's kind of off-putting to me. Same thing with the date. It looks like it's on the wrong side. Everything's backwards, actually. All right. Yeah, love this watch. I've been wearing it more. So I'm kind of glad. Like it, I had that Sea Dweller and they do kind of perform the same duty, but I will get another one of those. Not the same year. It's going to be older. All right. So what you've been waiting for, 55 minutes in. Let's do this. All right. So I'm not exactly sure what the best approach here before I do this. It's a small unbox. This is nothing. I think it's a big unbox, but it's a small unbox in terms of like price point compared to like High Horology or Rolex and things like that. So we're at a much lower price point. I don't think anyone has any clue of what this might be. So I don't know. I have a few videos teed up, but I think, let me see here. All right. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to play a video, which is going to basically give this away. Basically, it's going to give this away. I'm not going to get into having people guess. Okay, so there's a 9-minute version, which we could watch maybe later, but there's a 3.5-minute version that will tee this up. It's not going to give you, it's not going to give the whole thing away, but it's going to give most of it away. So it's going to tell you what it's going to tell you what brand I got, and it's going to tell you actually more information as well. So I'm going to play this, and then we'll play a little game, and then I'll show you the watch. Okay? All right. Let's do it. In 3, let's see. Yep, this is the one. 3, 2, 1, go.
There's no doubt that if you're watch interested, you know what this is. This is the AP and Swatch collaboration Royal Pop. It's been an absolute crazy buzz around this watch, and just listen to the watch pop. Yeah, it is so well built. I'm quite surprised actually how nice this watch is in my hands. I'm surprised, I will honestly tell you. The feel to it is very, very robust. I like how thin it is, and the case, I mean, it really reminds me of everything that the Royal Oak is all about. So I'm so excited that I finally have my hands on these watches so I can share them with you today. And I mean, we can talk all day about this watch, but it is so cool, it's well built, and I'm really positively surprised having them in my hand. But I mean, obviously it's not a watch you want to have in your pocket, and I mean the strap you get together with the watch, I mean, how on earth are you gonna hang it? Yeah, for those of you who have Birkin bags, maybe you can have it on the Birkin bag, but I don't have a Birkin bag, so I don't know how to wear this watch. That's why I'm so happy that Wrist Buddies now have a final product, and also that we have had opportunities to have our hands on this. And I'm going to share with you now how they look, the feel to it, and also the color combinations. First off, we're going to try the blue.
Okay, so I'm going to play the rest of this, but there you have it. It happened. A Royal Pop is in the collection. That's the reveal. A Royal Pop, an AP Swatch Royal Pop collaboration is right here in the studio, physically on my desk. I'm pointing at it right now. You guys cannot see it. It's in the collection. So that is the first reveal. Let's get through the rest of this. We have another 2 minutes to go. And then we'll play the game. Guess the Royal Pop that Cap got. And I want you to put that in the chat. And then I'll do the reveal of the actual model, the colorway that I got. and tell you a little bit more.
Art, and this is one of the watches that caught my eye now instantly when I had it in my hands, because it's surprisingly nice. And just listen to this. This one pops in
Oh, what a satisfying pop.
as well in this case as it does on the original weird hang tag kind of strap that you got original with the watch. You can access the crown that is 12 o'clock on these watches, and I can tell you it's actually quite comfortable to have the crown on top here, because then you don't have the crown in the way when you wear the watch. This is something I
wish
not
this
think
guy would
about
hurry up.
before actually trying this watch on my hand. This one positively surprised
What's up, Greg?
about the color combination of this watch.
Good
It is
morning.
definitely a summer watch.
Where are
Then
you
we have
from?
the
Where are you
Ocho, which is one of the
hailing
watches
from?
with
You in the
least
UK?
colors. I mean, it's a
Look at
white
that,
case
another
with a
pop,
black
pop,
dial.
pop, pop.
This one, I'm definitely sure
Boom,
it should
boom.
be on this
Pop,
black
baby.
case with a black strap. It makes this watch really nice.
It's
More
happening.
normal, not
Stay
as crazy
tuned.
as the other ones.
You
This
will
is gonna
see
be
the
a real
unbox.
banger. I'm 100% sure. Then we have the Orange Hachi, and listen to the pop clicking in here.
Orange Hachi.
Yeah, it pops as well as all the other ones. This is one of the more colorful ones. You could wear this one with the same cases you have here, but on a blue rubber strap. I think that will make this watch really nice, because you will get the details of the orange, but a little bit more stealthy look with a dark.
So they use the color in whatever language that the colorway relates to. And I think the number 8, because there's 8 different versions, 6 with the crown on top at the 12 o'clock, and 2 with the crown at the 3 o'clock position, like a regular, a customary wrist watch would have, and the 6 with the crown at the 12 o'clock, or like more like a pocket watch has, traditional pocket watch has. I think it's the, I don't know, Panine or Patine, whatever it's called. Let's continue with this guy so we can actually get to the one I got.
Dark blue version. So that is something I would look out for if you have this watch in your hands. Then we have 2 more watches to show you here. We have the Otoroso.
Otoroso 8 red. Otoroso in, well, that's Spanish, but I don't know what, if they're saying, yeah, I guess
With this
same.
pink case that is matching the screws and the dial absolutely 100%. And this is something you will see when you compare wrist body stuff to other people doing royal pop straps and cases. They will never go down on the quality. The quality is absolutely brilliant. The bioceramic case is beautiful, and the rubber straps, I mean, they've done it for quite a while now, so they know what they're doing. So you can be sure that you get the best stuff when you get the wrist bodies.
Look at that movement. System 51 Royal Pop. Doesn't get any better than that. We're almost done with this guy. 30 seconds. Bear with me.
Because I just met the founder and I was hanging out with him. He spent quite a lot of time in the factory perfectioning these colors, which is...
Shout out to Wrist Buddy. Shout out to Wrist Buddy. And this is Clock Fever. Clock Fever, 74,000 subscribers. Never really watched or heard of his channel. I'll give him a thumbs up right now. There you go. Give this channel a thumbs up. You're getting a Royal Pop unboxing. Where have you seen that?
The key to making great products. Just for fun, I tried this one in the OTG Ross case. I think this is also quite fun to wear. The watch a little bit twisted. But big thanks to Wrist Buddies for finally creating...
That's unique. He actually wore it with... he wore the one with the 12 o'clock. He popped it right into the case upside down. Not upside down, like, whatever, turned around. That's a wild watch. I had a hard time reading the 1921 when I had that from Vacheron, and that was only 1 hour off. You would be 3 hours early or late for every meeting you went to.
These straps. I'm so excited to get my own, and also getting your straps to fit them in. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to let us know which one is your favorite in the comments below.
Okay. We're done with that. Let's I like closing out those tabs. It just streamlines things, makes things a lot easier. All right, so let's go. Let's see the comments. Thanks for your loyal support. The same viewers are hanging strong. They want to see this. You guys want to see this? And we are at 12:01, so we're at June 19th, boys and girls. We are Juneteenth, 12:01. Wow. you couldn't script this any better. Timing is perfect. Let's fucking go. LOL. Yep, it is LOL. Cap can put it on his Birkin. Yeah, I wish I got a Birkin. I'd have to buy an HO8 or 5 HO8s, and maybe I would get a Birkin. I would qualify to get a Birkin. So would have to go pre-owned on the Birkin. I have no pull at Hermes. Hermes. I finally got that pronunciation right. Green. Okay, that's a good choice, Turtle. Greg Saga, thanks for coming back. Well, you haven't left, actually. Here we go. We already addressed that. Do you have another Patek or a Journe in your sights? Not Journe. I mean, I can't get a Journe. The prices, they've just gone hyperbolic. I missed out. I missed it. I missed the window for Journe. So I'm done. Moving on. Got to find the next indie before the next Journe is out there, and it's not like Rex or Sheppy because those are too high. So I don't know. Maybe they will. Well, there may never be another Journe, but certainly he's one of one. So no Journes, Patek. Yeah, I love Patek. I mean, we'll see. You know, maybe their perpetual calendar and 37. I always look at that. But I registered for my the 5326G with Patek, and I got confirmation that I'm registered for the magazine. I might get 2 magazines now. I don't know. I don't know how that'll work. I don't know how that'll work, but when I registered that Patek, I think I asked for the magazine in French. So I hope I get 2, but if I only get 1 and they give me the one in French, well, then I won't have the one in English. So that would be a problem. But shout out to Patek, man. They are on it. They waited a bit after registration, then sent me an email confirming registration, and then I have access to some of their content, you know, online, and you know, you get the magazine, so you're in the club. You know, when you have a Patek and register it, even if you don't buy it at Patek. I passed on the 5226G, just couldn't do that. You got the black and white pop. No, I was just showing that video. First one that came up, and I just wanted to play that to show you that I got a royal pop. Yes, I did. I did not get it from Swatch though. No standing in line, no pull, but basically it was an eBay purchase from a seller in Canada, in Toronto, authenticated, by the way. All the receipts and everything else came with it. It's 100% legitimate. I did not get the black and white pop. That I will tell you. Black and white looks good, but this is a fun color. To me, it is a fun watch. It's fun colorways. And you guys will know very soon which one I got. Craig, Northern Europe. Hey, shout out to Greg at Northern Europe. Really enjoy your live streams. Thank you so much. Best on YouTube. Well, that's high praise. I don't think you know, I appreciate that. I don't know if you're being honest, but if you know, I'm glad you enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, so that's why I do it, for fun and to share it with you guys, and you know, go on the journey. We're all on this journey. It's crazy journey, which is fun, and meeting people is always great. So thanks, Greg, and good morning. Going against blue or black. Okay, blue or black. Good guess. Good guess. Blue or black? Well, it's not the black. And then blue, I guess they have that all blue. Here we go, AB. Stumbled onto this. It's past your bedtime. Yeah, okay. Well, then maybe I should go to sleep and just not unbox. What do you guys think? You know, I should be tired right now. No, I'm a night owl. But it's June 19th, AB. We made it. We are at Juneteenth right now. So we got past midnight. Hour in, haven't unboxed yet. So this is am I trolling? or not. Did I really get a royal pop? Imagine I just ended and killed the show right now with no unboxing. Jen, I can see you going white for summer. Well, that's a great guess, okay? Because I like where you're going with this. Summer is the key. I did want this to be a summer watch. You guys know I play pickleball. I also play tennis, and I love the beach. So all of those things played into getting this watch, and paying a little bit of a premium for it, but not crazy. Not crazy. So, Greg, let's get back to you. Being totally honest, thank you. I appreciate that. Always great watch talk. Exactly what I want to hear. Okay, fair. I mean, I mean what I say what I mean. It's my opinions. A lot of it is aesthetic choices, and just again, my take on what's going on with some of these. Earlier we talked about some of these auctions. I mean, I guess there's good and bad. No one wants to see people getting taken advantage of. I think there's a lot of hyperbole in what they're saying, in terms of they're losing their shirt, this and that, I think is a little much. They're not professional auctioneers, but look, maybe you can find value in, if you snipe a piece that no one's bidding on, that's how these auctions work. And they have to sell it presumably to whoever is the highest bidder. So again, folks might not be into Vacheron who's watching those, some of those streams, and I don't know how much steam it's going to have either. Are they going to do one a night for the next, every night for years? And who knows? But it's not a bad business model because you can move inventory quick and work on lower margins, and don't even have to have folks come to a store or see the watches or go online. It's just a bidding process, and that should lead to price discovery as long as the auctions aren't rigged. So you got to know what you're buying, and trust the seller, trust the dealer. But thanks, Greg, appreciate that. All right, so I want to show, let me just pull up one clip where we could see all of the colorways on this thing. This guy ranks royal pops. Okay, well, we may watch this after, but I want to see a photo that has all the freaking colors. Okay, and then we can go through it. Where is it? Okay, not seeing one. Trying to get a photo of all. This is tough. All right, forget that. All right, guys, you've waited long enough. So the one I ended up going with is Audemars Piguet Swatch Royal Pop. I'm gonna take it out of the box. Here we go. And the one that I got is the Blue Oct. The Blue Oct. Here's the box. Here's the Blue Oct. Let me lay it down. Here is the box. You can see it in all of its glory. It's got this little latch. You can pull it in and out. Here's the box. It's official, boys and girls. And Jen is one of the ladies we have, one of the few. In a world full of men, in a watch community filled with men, Jen is carrying the torch. Blue Oct. Here we go. Here we go. eBay, Canadian seller. I paid a bit over retail, but not crazy. Most of these are going for thousands over retail. I didn't pay close to that. Thankfully, some Canadian sellers got these watches. You can see there's a sticker in here. It's got all of the Swatch stuff. It's got the date. It's got a reference number on here dated June 3rd, 2026. Swatch, Yorkdale, Toronto. Not that anyone's going to copy these, but I do know that there are a fair bit amount of fakes going on out there in the community. We got 10 viewers. Now they're all coming out. Yeah. Yeah. Doubt me now. Now they're all coming out. Where is everybody? Where are all these watch YouTubers unboxing a Royal Pop? Where are they? I don't see them. We're going to change the title of this show, by the way, to Cap Unboxes an AP Royal Pop. And let's get this thing moving. AP Swatch Royal Pop. Here is all of the colorways. Here we go. Oh, this is good. What am I looking for? I have it. I don't need a video. You know why? Because I have this. It shows all the colorways. Green on green, you know, the multicolored one, the white, the I guess the red one with the pink, Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue, Mr. Yellow. No, I'm not Mr. Pink. I'm Mr. Black, Mr. Blue. The two. I love the one on the bottom as well, the Lapine or whatever they call that style of pocket watch, the normal one, 3 o'clock crown. I love that blue on blue. Don't rule that out for the future. You got the New York Knicks. That's going to be a hot one with that navy blue and orange. Value of that probably just went up. Think about how many Knick fans, Knick supporters would want that. Look at that one. So there's the two bottom ones, right? Those are the ones with the crown at the 3. The black and the white. Not, you know, look, it's nice, but it's not a fun summer kind of watch, which I think this is really designed to be. Blue on blue. I'm eyeing that bad boy. The Knicks one. That's a really nice one too. I really like that dark blue. There's the pink, Mr. Pink, Miss Pink. There's the colorway, the Andre Agassi, we'll call that one, because that's a tan the man. Which one would Andre Agassi would wear? That one right there. Let's see. Then they got the one I got, which is the blue oct. Blue oct. Actually, no. I'm sorry. That's the white. That's the white one. What are we going to call that? That's very colorful. That really pops. That is a Royal Pop. I like that one. There's mine. There she is. Look at that thing. Mint. That's mint and blue. Mint blue. Blue bezel, blue crown, or I should say baby blue bezel and crown. Lime green dial. And then the lime green outer case, which is exactly what I got, by the way. That's coming in 2 days. And then there's the green, Mr. Green, right there. Look at that. Unbelievable. System 51 movement, automatic. Are we kidding? Look at this. And then I got the instructions in 20 languages. So this is as real as it comes. And I got the receipt from Swatch. Where did that go? Right here. You know, this is for all the haters out there is going to question it. You know, here we go. Swatch Yorkdale. I'll just show you the top. Comes with all, look at that. Guy was nice enough to include the paperwork. Unbelievable. This is in Canadian dollars. So Canadian Moose Bucks. Shout out to Ari G. You know, even the mini sticker, even the mini receipt. Look at this. Canadian, $593.25 Canadian. That should equate to $400 because I think this was one of the $400 models and the other two of them were $420. That's probably with the small seconds. So guy paid by Visa card. There you go. Unbelievable. Should I sell it right away? Maybe I should do a bidding of auction. Let's do an auction on VUCA. Let's auction this thing off. No, that's not why I got it. So let's get back to the watch. Here we go. I love the colorway here. This is a perfect summer colorway. And again, the markup or the gray price, the eBay price was a couple of $100, give or take, more than retail at Swatch. So would I prefer to get this at retail? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would. I haven't taken the stickers off, so you're going to see a little kind of glare that looks like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, is the dial okay? But see, it has AP Swatch branding on the top, APX Swatch, and then Royal Pop in its own placard on the bottom above the 6 o'clock. It's got the tapisserie pattern. It's like a grand tapisserie. Unbelievable, man. This thing is, and it's, I have to tell you, it's a little bit sturdier than I thought. Yeah, can I hang this on my neck? Let's see. It's a small lanyard, though. So this really would be more on like a golf bag or something. You could just hang it there, and if you want to know the time, you just look at it. But I don't know. I don't think I'm doing that. Look at that Swatch sticker on the back with Royal Pop. So I haven't taken that sticker off either. This is unstickered. This is unstickered. I'm going to keep it stickered. You know, if someone wants to spend, you know, pay me 4 or 5 times retail, I'd consider moving on from it, I guess. But they would be silly for them to do that. And I do not want to sell this at all. I can't wait to wear it. So I have a strap coming from Wrist Buddies too, by the way. That's the reveal, the third surprise here. I don't know what the first surprise. First surprise was I'm doing a show. Second surprise was I got a Royal Pop, and the color may have been the third. Well, maybe been the second surprise. But number 3 or 4, Wrist Buddies, baby. Wrist Buddies. I'm getting a the rubber strap that you saw in the last video. I'm getting it not in the baby blue. I'm getting it in the mint. I'm getting the strap in the mint with a steel buckle, plain Jane, the one that comes with it. No extra money for that, for the buckle, pin buckle, rubber strap, and same color, mint green case. So let's pop this bad boy out. Ready? I got to remember how to do it because you could pop the wrong direction. I got to pop this. There we go. Boom. Pop it right out. It's popped. It's popped. There we go. Look at that. I haven't set it yet either. I haven't set it yet. And I have to say the feel of it, it's actually a little, it's got some heft to it. It definitely has some heft to it, which is crazy. Like solid movement too. Look at that. You guys seen this? Just want to make sure. Let's do the other camera. I'm going to let's get to the comments. You know, it has no seconds here. So, oh, here it is. Now I'm wanting it. You know, pretty light crown, not great crown action here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's, you know, it's bioceramic. You know, what more can I say? All right, I'm popping it out. Let's literally popping it out. I'm popping out the pop. What time is it? 12:19. Okay. So let me set it. I'll go backwards. I'll set it. There we go. I'll set it to 12:19. Let's see. Let's see how she runs. Okay, it's popped back in. I'm gonna wind it. Yeah, no seconds hands. So a dead dial. It's a dead dial. Let me switch cameras. Let me switch cameras. Oops, we don't want that background again. That's what got me in trouble last time. So I have to kill the other show. And there it is. We're going to do the confetti. We're going to do some lightsabers. We're going to celebrate. This is a celebration. We're going to do the balloons. We're all pop on YouTube. Here we go. Who's unboxing this? You tell me. And this is mine. Mine. It's mine. All mine. These are great. Look, I'm impressed so far. 4th of July is coming. I might be wearing this. I'm sure I will at some point over the weekend. So can't wait for the case to come in. in all honesty, in all seriousness. And that should be a nice treat from Wrist Buddy. So we'll see how that fits. And then I pop this back on, put it on the lanyard, wear it around the wrist. I mean, maybe I'll wear it like this, little fashion accessory, put it on the LV bag. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Give me 7 more of these. Now, actually, there's a few, like I mentioned before, the colors I would like. The Knicks one would be really cool, or that blue on blue. That's kind of the one I think I would want, because then you get one with the traditional crown at the 3. Let's get into the comments. Nice. Sausage Fest. Yup, AB. We know the drill. Morning, evening cap. A Herb F173. By the way, I appreciate everyone in the chat for supporting the channel and hanging with me here past the midnight hour on the East Coast. And happy Juneteenth. We're going to celebrate in the United States Juneteenth with a royal pop. It's official. It's official. I got us to, wasn't even planned, but I got us to Juneteenth to do the unbox. We're going to hang it on your 997 Greg Saga. Again, thanks everyone in the chat. Really appreciate it. Are you going to hang it on your 997's rear view mirror or put it on a strap? Put it on a strap. Really very nice choice. Use it in good health. Yeah, I'm going to wear it in good health, Greg, because Wrist Buddy strap is coming. So my concern, again, because it's System 51, is, you know, I'm playing I'm very active, you know, playing hardcore, you know, pickleball, tennis, whatever it is, wearing these watches, but I'm wearing the Moon Swatch, which is quartz. I have no fear wearing those. System 51, a bit different. You know, I have the Blancpain Ocean of Storms. I had the Atlantic Ocean one, which I gifted, so I no longer have the Atlantic. That was System 51. But again, I didn't use that. You know, I wasn't putting any G-force on there or anything like that. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes, because if you damage the System 51 movement, it's over. Build quality, I like it, Jen. Jen, I have to tell you, I'm pretty impressed, man. These are not, and I know that I just watched yesterday Opus in Time. You know, I should shout out to Opus in Time because I don't watch him that often, but Juan actually did have a royal pop, and he showed it, and he thought that there was good build quality. He also mentioned that, so I stand corrected. He's a YouTuber, and he had one just the other day. And I'm sure there's others, but he mentioned that the reason we're not seeing a lot of these, I guess there's a few theories, but one is that they can't make them that fast because they don't have a lot of these movements. I find that hard to believe that they wouldn't have these stockpiled already. So it's not like they're making them to order. But they are a new System 51, you know, with actually, it's interesting on this. I just realized it. You have to wind these. These are not automatic, so there's no rotor. There's no rotor, so we'll see how these do. But 70-hour power reserves. But I would think they'd have a lot of these stockpiled, to be honest. And they're just trying to figure out how they're going to release these to the masses through a lottery system, through a mass drop, you know, something like that, right? You give people an hour to see if you can get one, and in 10 minutes they sell out. But they just weren't prepared. So plan B, they didn't have a plan B. So they're trying to figure it out. And I think that's where they're trickling out very slowly, if at all, at a lot of these Swatch stores. Canada, and I think the UK, there's some sellers on eBay selling some of these on the UK. Some of them are going, that blue on blue version at the 3 o'clock, I don't know the name of it, is going for like $3,000 or $4,000 still. So massive markup, whereas this is not. This is still a premium, but I paid less than 2x retail. So you know, probably too much for sure, but I'm not waiting for months, and I want to have this for the summer. So there you go. Let's see. So I do like the build quality. I do. It's a special. It's a decent. It's a nice movement actually. System 51 Marco plus 10. Yeah, that's the price, right? AB. Pay to play. Pay to play. Great choice. Thanks, Jen. I mean, part of the decision was based on price because yes, did I pay too much? Yeah, it's a Swatch. You know, Swatch NAP, they kind of should be ashamed of themselves because if you're going to do something like this, make it available to the masses. No riots, no markups. Make it available to the masses. If you really want people to get them, and it's kind of this, let's promote watchmaking, let's support watchmaking, AP is donating all their proceeds, so they say, to a foundation for watchmaking. Let's do it the right way. Let's get these out to people immediately. Okay, don't do like I did and pay a premium, or others that are paying 3, 4, 5,000, not whatever it is, 3 or 4,000 for the blue on blue, or 2 or 3,000. Let's have everyone wear these this summer. What are you doing? I mean, let's be real. There shouldn't be any markup on these. They should be readily available. Make them all available on the website. Do you really need people to come into your stores so they buy 2 or 3 other swatches? They're going to make a fortune just on these. Or maybe JJ is right. They're not going to make a lot of these, which would be insane. But in that case, these become collectible in a weird way. So there you go. I'm looking forward to seeing. I hope that the Wrist Buddy strap, and I think it will be, is going to be an identical color match to the mint color here, because they had different choices. You could mix and match and go kind of baby blue and mint, kind of case in either color, and then you could have the strap in either mint or baby blue. So you could have it almost like a two-tone. Which it is, but you could have this case and strap in two-tone. What I wanted to do is I wanted the bezel to stand out, so I stuck with kind of this colorway. So both the case that this snaps into and the strap are mint green. So you'll see the blue octagon bezel, the baby blue octagon bezel will stand out just like it does here because it contrasts with the mint, or as I used to call it, lime green. I've been seeing it called mint, so I'm calling it mint. Very light, palish green. Great summer color, in my opinion. So let's see what happens. All right. So we have the same amount of viewers here. We're hanging strong. Let's see where this goes in the aftermarket, this stream. I want to do, moving on, this guy's going to rank these. So why don't we just continue the, now it's 9 minutes and it's getting late. You know what? I'm wondering if we should finish on a ranking. Yeah, I think we should, because we'll stick with the theme. Let's see what this guy says in terms of rankings, his opinion. And then we can exit. I can end the stream after that. So let me share it.
At least a few friendships in line. It's not a traditional wristwatch out of the box. It's a modern take on a pocket watch that pops into a lanyard, and people still went absolutely feral for it. Today, I'm ranking all 8 Royal Pops, from why does this exist to I hate how much I want this. The rollout on this thing was textbook modern watch hysteria. It started with one graphic, Royal Pop, with Royal in that Royal Oak style font, and the PO and Pop linked just like the OA in Oak. That's the kind of hyper-specific detail only watch people were ever going to notice. In credit where it's due, Ethan on Time was the first to call it out. He spotted the connection immediately and said what nobody else had quite put together yet. This was pointing straight at Audemars Piguet. From there, speculation just went vertical. Then we got the follow-up tease that implicitly spelled it out. Swatch times Audemars Piguet. At this point, the internet collectively was also more style piece you pop into a lanyard, clip to it as a wristwatch. You heard no wristwatch as a suggestion. Lanyards, the pop heritage, trend salmon tone feel almost engineered to become all 8 from worst to best. In last place, we got the Auto Rock.
Okay, so here are the rankings this guy's going to do. Let me just give a shout out to his channel, Wrist Enthusiast. He's got 68.6 thousand subscribers. So he's ranking all 6. Let's get into it. Otto Rosso is numero 8, is ocho on his list. Otto Rosso. So it's not Spanish. Otto Rosso.
Rosso. Do I have anything against
Rosso.
it? Absolutely not. It's actually pretty handsome, just nowhere near my personal vibe.
Nice color. I like it. I think it's more of a lady's choice. You know, the pink and red. Put it on a Birkin for sure.
Mix of red, pink, and a very on-trend salmon tone feel almost engineered to become the royal pop of summer 2026, especially among the kind of stylish people who clip tiny luxury objects to handbags while strolling through Soho, Saint-Tropez, or Brera with a €9 iced latte in hand. I strongly suspect this is the version we're about to see all over New York, Paris, and Milan.
Yeah, I think that New York, Paris, and Milan, right? Fashion, but with ladies, with the bag, he had with the nice iced latte. You know, what those towns he mentioned again? I gotta hear that again. La Cafe, Vendôme.
Tiny luxury objects to handbags while strolling through Soho, Saint-Tropez, or Brera with a €9 iced latte in hand. I strongly suspect
I can go to Soho and stroll with mine.
this is the version we're about to see all over New York, Paris, and Milan. It's unapologetically romantic and would make a killer Valentine's Day gift for a design-minded watch nerd. I just don't need it hanging off my lanyard. At 7 is Green 8. It's handsome, if a touch pedestrian by royal pop standards, which is honestly kind of befitting the straightforward English language title. The nearly monochromatic.
If you like green, this is your Hulk version of the Royal Pop. I mean, this is the Royal Hulk, man. This is the, I don't know what nickname you give this one, but that's what this is. And I just realized I don't have this bag. I didn't get this Swatch bag. I feel cheated. It'd be nice to have gotten the Swatch bag. Disappointing. I have to ask him. I'll ask the seller about that. Why didn't I get this bag? I mean, he didn't advertise it as the bag, but now I'm seeing it. Would have been nice.
Chromatic palette of rich greens and olive
Guess I can go to Swatch and just get a Swatch bag if I really wanted it.
tones makes this feel like the royal pop for someone who wants to vibe without wanting to look like they lost a bet at Art Basel. It's objectively cool looking, but compared to some of the collection's wilder executions, its restraint feels almost suspiciously mature. Then again, if you're out cutting the lawn on a Saturday morning with your favorite watch clipped around your neck a la Don Draper, this is probably the one you'd pick. Would I still buy one? Hell yeah. In 6th, we've got...
All right, so with that green, what was I going to say? Oh, ceramic. I wanted to touch on ceramic. I know some of these companies like Wrist Buddies and there's another one making straps. Pop something. I'm sure there's a bunch of others that are going to come out with straps. Bracelets are doing bioceramic. So I would not want a bioceramic. I think that would feel very cheap. Believe it or not, even though this is a less expensive watch, I actually feel it might cheapen the watch. But I guess it depends. I don't know. I'm not going to try them all out. I'm not going to buy a ceramic. I think a ceramic might be interesting to try with this, but a bioceramic, again, is establishing more kind of plasticky feel to the watch. I wouldn't put it on a steel bracelet either, but a cheap ceramic, not bioceramic, might be interesting to get a ceramic kind of feel to the Royal Pop. I don't know. I mean, it depends. If some of these are $100, it might be worth picking up some straps and playing around with it, but I don't want to burn, you know, too much more money into this. But here's another great color, Orange Hachi. That sounds Japanese. Sounds Japanese, and 8 would be Achi, I believe. Orange sounds like it's orange.
The Orange Hachi, which somehow manages to feel even more sinister than the black and white Ocho Negro.
I like this colorway, by the way. I do. I like this. It's a Nick thing as well, so I think that's really on point, on trend. This one's going to be hot. This one is going to be very hot in New York.
The combination of deep navy tones and sharp jolts of bright orange scattered across the dial and printing makes it look vaguely like a prop from Stranger Things, or the sort of gadget a stylish movie villain would wear clipped to the inside of a bomber jacket. The visible System 51 movement is unusually restrained here, with its colors carefully matched to the overall palette, which feels right for something completely automated in its construction, protected by 15 patents, and running a Nivacron balance spring developed in collaboration with Audemars Piguet. Because it's one of the simpler Lapine-style models, the design stays clean.
Lapine. So this is the Lapine style pocket watch. 15 patents. That sounds like a lot for this piece.
And direct. If you're heading out to the club, this is absolutely the royal pop to wear. And number 5 is Ocho Negro. This is probably the most overtly masculine watch in the lineup, but the black and white Oreo colorway means just about anyone with a thing for sharp monochrome design could pull it off. There's something unexpectedly elegant about the contrast between the inky black case and dial components and the creamy off-white accents, especially against the vertical satin finishing and petite tapestry texture borrowed from the Royal Oak playbook. And because of the grade A Superluminova glows blue, this thing should absolutely light up the dark despite its noirish palette.
Superluminova. I gotta check the I haven't checked the lume on this. That's really cool though. Yeah, black and white goes with everything. Looks more like a traditional Royal Oak.
Also suspect this might be the ideal royal pop to use with Swatch's stand accessory, turning it into a tiny desk clock that looks like postmodern office decor.
I didn't get the stand accessory. Did not come with the watch. It's a separate item. Not opposed to it because I think it's really cool to have this tchotchke on your desk and it tells the time. So you just glance over at it, boom. You don't have to look at your watch. You don't have to look at your iPhone. Nothing. It's right there.
From 1988, or worn on its lanyard with a tux at your next gala. Honestly,
that looks absurd, but I think he knows that.
I could see that working too. 4th place goes to Lan Ba. Like Blau Oct, it's one of the more restrained entries into the collection, arguably even more so thanks to its monochromatic palette of deep and electric blues.
Lan Ba is amazing. I think this is a great one. I'd put this up there 2 or 3 right after the NYX colors, or either before or after NYX. It could be 1 or 2 actually. Mine would be like 3 or 4 because again, I went also on price because these are going for $3,000 USD, I believe, 2,000 to 3,000 if not more.
There's something pleasantly coherent about it. The case, dial, lanyard, and movement accent.
In a year or 2 from now, by the way, this is going to sound absurd because these will all be hopefully readily available and, get them at retail or maybe even under retail on eBay.
All feel like variations on the same aquatic theme, giving the watch a cleaner, more grown-up energy than some of its louder siblings. This is also the other Savonette style model in the lineup, with the case rotated so the crown sits at 3 o'clock and the sub-seconds display tucked neatly at 6. That constantly sweeping seconds hand adds a nice bit of mechanical theater, quietly reminding you that beneath all the bioceramic weirdness beats Swatch's hand-wound System 51. And while the watch itself is charming, the real sleeper hit here might be the Caskin lanyard. That rich blue feels tailor-made to pair with faded denim and a white t-shirt all summer. Bronze medal goes to Blau Oct. This one charms me for almost the exact opposite reason of Haute Rose. It's clean, handsome, and surprisingly restrained by royal pop standards. The combination of pale blue, turquoise, and green feels deeply summery in a way that almost immediately evokes sky, sea, and freshly cut grass. Less pop art chaos and more Mediterranean resort town in June. There's also something refreshingly unisex about it. While some of the louder executions feel destined for collectors with extremely committed personal aesthetics, Blau Oct feels like one almost anyone could pull off. As a Lapine-style model, the focus stays squarely on the beautiful, simple 2-hand display and the details hiding beneath the sapphire caseback. The manually wound System 51 uses its barrel drum as a power reserve indicator. When the visual chamber shifts from gray to gold as the mainspring contracts, you know the watch is fully wound. It's a delightfully nerdy touch on an otherwise effortlessly breezy watch. Runner-up is Haute Rose. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I didn't even realize that about the power reserve. Very interesting. And this has that. My watch has that as well. Obviously, it's the System 51 movement, but very cool. Yeah, I'm looking at that now. They're filled in. Wow. There's a little bridge over the mainspring. Actually, that's the balance wheel. Sorry.
My second favorite of the bunch, not because it's remotely restrained, but because it feels the most unapologetically Swatch. The combination of hot pink, turquoise, and bright yellow looks less like traditional watch design and more like the opening credits to a forgotten 1980s Italian game show, which is precisely why it works. Each of these colors is already moderately rare in watchmaking on its own. Seeing them all deployed together on a vaguely royal oak-shaped object feels completely unhinged in the best possible way. Unlike the simpler Lapine-style models, Haute Rage uses a Savonette configuration with a crown at 3 o'clock and a subsidiary second display at 6, meaning you get to watch a little sweep second hand, constantly reminding
That's
you that
pretty
this thing is
cool.
powered by a mechanical System 51. Yes, the Savonette models cost about 20.
Savignet is really cool with that small seconds. So that would pair well with the model I have. That there would be two. You have the Lapine and the Savignet. I think that's a nice combo meal deal right there, but way too expensive.
$20 more, but that feels like a small price to pay for a colorway this gloriously deranged. In first place, Hewitt
$20 is nothing if you want the small seconds. The problem is they're not available yet. So maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Blanc, the royal pop to own. There's nothing like a white case to scream summer watch, and even though you're not strapping this to your wrist for a swim in the Aegean just yet, you can absolutely wear it around your necks like Mercedes glides crossing the channel. Brightly colored indices and screws pop against the vertically satin finished bezel and petite tapisserie dial, while the colored System 51 movement puts on a show through the sapphire caseback.
Nothing wrong with this one at all. Not in my top, I would say top 4, probably falls out of my top 4. But I love the colors. It's white. Nothing wrong with it.
On Hewitt Blanc, each bezel screw is a different color, and British GQ.
And that's cool. That's kind of like, I don't know if it's the rainbow colors, but that's I like that. Very colorful, fun, summery, and I think that'll be a hit.
You reported they're fixed randomly, effectively making each example unique. I even sat down and calculated
If anybody can get them.
it. With 8 different colored screws, there are 40,320 possible combinations around the bezel. So if that report is accurate, good luck bumping into someone with the exact same Hewitt Blanc as yours. And if that's true, this isn't just the cleanest royal pop, it's quietly the nerdiest and most collectible.
That's pretty wild. I didn't realize that if they do mix up the colorways there and there's that many combinations, I can't even do the math on that. That's hard to fathom.
If you're picking one royal pop to chase through the chaos, this is it. So this whole ranking is based on design concept and launch day madness, but I'm still working on getting a royal pop or two in collectible. If you're picking Blanc as yours, and if that's true, 320 possible combinations, each example unique. I even sat down and calculated it. With 8 different colored screws, there are 40,320 possible combinations around the bezel.
40,000 combinations. I don't know. Somebody fact check that for me. I had to replay that because I thought he said that. Maybe he's talking about the combination of the 12 hours and the 8 screws.
So if that report is accurate, good luck bumping into someone with the exact same Hewitt Blanc as yours, actively making each example unique. I even sat down and calculated on Hewitt Blanc, each bezel screw is a different color, and British GQ reported they're fixed randomly, effectively making each example unique. I even sat down and calculated it. With 8 different colored screws, there are 40,320 possible combinations around the bezel. So if that report is accurate, good luck bumping into someone with the exact same Hewitt Blanc as yours. And if that's true, this isn't just the cleanest royal pop, it's quietly the nerdiest and most collectible. If you're picking one royal pop to chase through the chaos, this is it. So this whole ranking is based on design concept and launch day madness, but I'm still working on getting a royal pop or two in for a proper hands-on review. I want to see how they feel in the hand, how they wear on the lanyard, and most importantly, what happens once you start dropping them into those custom straps everyone's cooking up. Does Hewitt Blanc still feel like the one? Does Haute Rage look even more gloriously unhinged in person? I want to find out.
Okay, and we're done. So that's it with the Royal Pop. I think we've had as much Royal Pop content as one needs. We are going to kill the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And remember to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. I wish you good night. Happy Juneteenth. Signing off. This is Cap. Have a great night. Take care.